This is a super easy recipe that goes well with steak as well as being served as an appetizer on its own. As usual, we will go over all the ingredients needed for the recipe before we start cooking. If you haven't already, please like this video, share it, and check us out at DannoDoes.com. The first step is really easy. All we do is take some olive oil or canola oil and put that all over the potatoes. Kind of smother it all over the outside on the skins. Then we take a fork and we puncture holes in the potato. So we put in the oven. It allows the heat to go through it more thoroughly. Right now the oven is preheating at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it's at 400 degrees and you have these holes in them, you can throw it in there and leave it in the oven for 1 hour, 60 minutes, and then we'll pull it out and we'll continue from there. Okay, it's been an hour, so I take the potatoes out. I check them to make sure they're thoroughly cooked. Knife goes in very easily, so I know it's good. All right, now, very hot, hard to hold, so I'm gonna let them cool down for a little bit, put them off on the side. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a quarter stick of butter and I'm going to cut it up. Then I'm going to put it in I'm going to take a quarter of a stick of butter. I'm going to cut it up and I'm going to put it in my large mixing bowl. Put it in a large mixing bowl. Take a quarter of a cup of sour cream. I'm going to put that in the large mixing bowl as well. The potato should be about cool enough. I'm going to cut it in half along the length. And I'm going to use a spoon to scoop out the innards of the potato. I'm going to throw it in the mixing bowl with all this. Then I start mixing it together. I'll throw in some salt and pepper, about a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of pepper, mix it together. Throw that in here. I'm going to take a quarter of a cup of milk, mix it in here, a quarter of a cup of sharp cheddar cheese, mix it in here. We'll get it all mixed in. We'll put it back in the potato layer. And then from there, we'll put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. So the potatoes cool down a little bit. I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm going to take my spoon, excuse me, take the spoon and I work the insides. I don't want to go all the way down and I want to leave a little bit of room at the potato around the skin because I'm going to put this mix back in here. You can't see it because it's off screen, but I'm throwing the innards into the mixing bowl that we just had on screen. It has the butter and the sour cream. So a little bit on the sides, a little bit on the bottom. Then I put it off to the side because after I mix everything together, it's gonna go right back in there. So here's my next potato, same thing. The oven temperature has been switched down to 325. I'll let it sit like that as I continue to prep this. Once I have it all ready to go, all mixed together, stuffed back into these potato shells, then I put it in the oven for 25 minutes. it's all out. Here's my mix. I got my potatoes, got the butter, I got the sour cream. I'm gonna mix in my salt and pepper a little bit, continue to mash this. I'm gonna take my 1/4 cup of milk and pour this in here. I start working it over, mashing it, getting that butter all broken up, getting the potato all broken up. Mash, 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 mash. Make it a nice little mix. Take the remainder of my salt and pepper. I sprinkle it in there. Continue to work it. Okay, once it's all broken down, once it's all even and smooth, that's when I take a 1/4 cup of sharp cheddar cheese and I start mixing that in as well. Now that the cheese is even throughout, I bring the potato peels back. So I pour it in. I just spread it to get a nice little even, and I put a little extra on top. I do that for all of them. Also, what you could have put in the mix too, what goes really well with it, is bacon bits and green onions. Okay, they're all in. I'm gonna go through with the fork and kind of clean up a little bit. Make sure it stays in. It's nothing over leaking, coming off the sides. You can also take your fork, kind of run to give it a nice little pattern to it. Kind of clean it up a bit. Or you can do what I like to do. I take a little bit of cheese and I sprinkle it over the top of all of them. All right, so they're good. The oven is at 350. I'm gonna put it in there for 25 minutes. All right, fresh out of the oven. So around the 20-minute mark, a little before that, it started making a little popping noise in the oven. It was set at 350 degrees. I took a little peeked in and they looked fantastic. So we're good with it where it is. Well, that does it for this video. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, check us out at DannoDoes.com. Now, stop looking and get cooking.